let's just sew whatever. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making the Champion bag from Land of the Loft. This is a really cool like travel tote foldable. So this isn't what it looks like. It opens. It has a foldable base. So you open it up, you can unzip it, throw that inside. And then you're ready to take home the Christmas leftovers, Thanksgiving leftovers. You're ready to hold a Christmas ham. I don't know. It's not Christmas time. It's literally August, but I had so much fun making this. I love these little zipper tabs. They're so fun. And I used waterproof cotton from my website and then a vinyl I'm kind of testing. My flap might be placed, it might be too high. I just kind of imprinted where I thought it should go instead of measuring. But I love it. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and don't forget to go buy the pattern. Okay, bye. I'm so excited to be making the Champion bag from Land of the Loft Designs. We're gonna start with the straps because that's what you start with in the pattern. Yeah, I was like, wait, do we not? I thought this was really cool. We're gonna be cutting out a 1 by 1/4 inch section of the strap. And this is gonna give us a finished edge at the bottom. I'm going to be doing the rolled handle option, and my straps are 20 inches. I can't remember if they were the, no, they're the tote strap version, I think. I don't know. This is Kristen's first pattern, which is very exciting. I found it to be easy to read, well written. I thought the layout was really nice. And there's a cut chart, which I love. And the pieces are mostly rectangles, which is also kind of cool. So it's easy to cut with rotary cutter and ruler if you prefer, but if you don't prefer that, then just about every piece is a pattern piece. So she really took that into account, which was lovely. So after that, we're going to be using some double-sided tape and folding our straps to the center. Oh, I did not pick my thread at all. I was just like, let's go. I don't dislike the one I have on there, but I do have a different one in the bobbin. Maybe it won't matter. I will be using the snaps that you use like a rivet press for, which I'm not good at, but I'm gonna try. How can you be good at something if you never try? So we're going to apply double-sided tape at that cutout. And then on either side of that line. I am using a Luxe vinyl that I'm testing to sell. I really loved the finishes of the samples, but I wanted to test the quality, of course. So we're going to fold this up so it's flush. I'm going to start with one side. I'm going to fold in the center first and leave a gap for it to fall onto. If I folded mine up too much. But I'm just going to trim off the overlap that I've got going on here. Gosh, this vinyl is just gorgeous. It's got like a holographic finish. So pretty. Yeah, I must have folded up the back side too high or something, I don't know. So I'm just cutting that away because it's not gonna matter. I might use what I have here. All right, that looks better. Still have a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna fold that in half. If you're doing the rolled handle version, you can add a little something in there, but I feel pretty good about this. And then we're gonna leave 2 inches at the ends unsewn. So just making a quick marking for where that is. Oh, fold it in half again. Yikes. Okay, so this is for like a super substantial handle. I'm so used to the way I do a rolled handle, which is like more like a single layer. So maybe I won't do this. If I do, maybe I'll tape it all. But it does give it some heft. So I'm gonna tape it down the center. Help me keep that all together. And then I'll fold it in half again. This would be really easy to do with a mid-weight or accessory weight Luxe vinyl. And definitely not domestic friendly. It's barely clip, yeah, I was gonna say clip friendly. I might just have to fold it as I go. Hope for the best. I would like to note it very well says like don't use a thick vinyl if you're going to do this. So I'm using my fingers to fold those layers together. I mean, it looks really pretty. This little, okay. So then I'm just gonna clip the bottom together to help keep that in place. We'll deal with our threads here. So I pull on that top thread and then I'm able to see the loop and I just take my snips through it. And we'll tie. And then we got one more to do. But we're starting with the straps, which means they'll be done and out of the way. I actually really love the way those two different vinyls look on the strap, like the two different threads. I mean, like, because the vinyl is so duochrome gorgeous, like you can't even tell. Like that there is a thread there. Okay, I'm gonna try folding that up just right there. I think I'm just folding it up too much, because it should just be like 1/8 of an inch. Okay. And definitely make sure that you use tape that you like and you know sticks really well. I'm gonna try to leave a little bit more of a gap for all my layers so I can easily fold. Okay, that looks better. And then I need to put the tape, I'm going to use 1/8 inch, closer to this side edge, not in the middle. That was silly. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Whew. Straps are done. They feel so nice though. Like I love how puffy they are. So the other part we're gonna work on is our zipper tabs. So we've got some, well, yeah, okay. I thought I'd be lazy and cut them in the lazy way, but they're sewn together in a fancy way. So I'm like, all right. In a good fancy way. I love it. We're making like a zipper glove. A little zipper glove. All right, on the wrong side of your tab, draw a line 1/2 inch down from the straight edge. Just gonna do it for all of them. This is for thin vinyl or fabric. Can't tell me what to do. All right, and then a mark 1/4 inch at the top, because you're going to cut it at an angle to and from. because then you're going to fold that down to the line. I'm going to eyeball it. Okay. So now this is going to get folded down to meet that line. There it went. Okay. Okay, it's going to be a 1/4 inch seam allowance for this cute little zipper glove. And you want to go slow, curving around. Like almost every stitch, you should start to curve. And then we'll cut that using pinking shears. I didn't do a great job, but I did okay. Pinking shears. So we're going to pin it, flip it, and then starting a 1/4 inch down from the top to top stitch. Just using the end of my seam ripper. I don't want anything too pointy. Kind of folding that on itself. And then top stitch starting lower. And similar with sewing around that edge is the same with top stitching. Slow and steady, leaving my tails long. Doesn't look great, but I think once it's on the bag, it'll be fun. Okay, I'm pulling my thread to the back. Okay. We're gonna set those aside for now. I'll tie those off in a little bit. We're gonna work on the flap. This step does start off with like a tip, but it's really just like a, for later, essentially. So add your interfacing and then adhere your snap. So one piece is gonna get that interfacing. And that's like 1 1/4 up from the center. And there's that. And I'm using the Peel and Stick Therafuse, I think, from Fabric Therapy. And just center that. All right. So the most important thing to remember with your snaps is whatever you do on one side, you want to do the opposite of on the other. So she's stating to use the one with a little outie portion, the male here. And then you want the stud to be out here and the back side to be the flat cap portion. So I'll go ahead and punch my hole and work on that. I've got the snap on the back. I'm using a much smaller snap than she recommends, so hopefully it'll be okay. And like, this is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to leave a 4 inch opening along either side. We're going to walk into that seam. So starting at this section up here, And if you need to, you can draw the seam allowance on there. Okay, and then you're not going up to the top. You're pivoting and then walking out. And then we use pinking shears and trim those corners. And we're going to turn this, finger press, and then top stitch starting at 5/8 of an inch from the top. Only around the U shape, not all over. I'm just taking my hand across that curve to flatten it. All right, starting at 5/8 of an inch or so from the top, 1/8 inch top stitch. And you want to make sure you're using appropriate stitch lengths. Dang, it jumped a little here. It's okay. And then pull those threads to the back, and we'll tie them off a little later. I mean, you want to do it now, but I don't want to do it now. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna set them aside. All right, back slip pocket construction. Okay, this is interior front pocket, back slip. Here we go. Okay. Based on the illustration, this looks right. So should be 6 inches wide. Okay, so yeah. The basic slip pocket is the small interior back slip pocket. Getting back to it, we are going to be sewing at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, starting at the bottom. Turning, oh, okay. Turn the corner and just sew a little bit. We want to make sure we have plenty of room to turn this through. Lift up and pivot and continue around. And then we'll snip in the corners. And then we're going to flip this and do 2 rows of stitching along that turn hole. I'm going to fold that top edge down in and make sure we keep it lined up. This corner is not quite poked out as well as I'd like. So just kind of adjust. And then if you can iron your fabric, this is a good time to. And then she says to do 2 rows of stitching. Okay, I'm just gonna set this aside for now. We're gonna work on the zipper tabs. This is, so normally you would add 2 zipper tabs. When I spoke with Kristen earlier, she kind of mentioned like, well, you have an industrial, it's not gonna be a problem. But some of the testers had quite a bit of bulk with 2 zipper tabs. So I would say if you know you're gonna have issue with bulk, just go ahead and use 2 zipper tabs instead of cutting all 4. And I was thinking about it, and technically you could use binding right here if you were only going to use that single layer. So like I could just wrap this edge with binding, flip this down and top stitch if you'd want. And there's that. And then this is your pocket, your big zippered pocket here. I think I want to add a tag to this. So I'm just adding double-sided tape along that top edge. We're going to be making like a tube, a zippered tube. It doesn't matter which way your zipper pull is unless your print is directional. And then this is a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Or a quarter. I can't remember. But it's not going to make or break the bag for this part, just so long as you're consistent. And since this is raw edge on the inside, make sure you're trimming as you go. And then again here too, if you're not a fan of this raw edge, you could do a little strip of binding. I think it's just excessive. Like it's just a foldable travel type of bag. And I top stitched that at about 1/4 of an inch instead of 1/8 an inch since it's raw edge and you don't want this to lift up. Technically you could do 2 rows of stitches if you wanted as well. Alrighty. I need to order myself some more of my tags from Heartwood and Hide. I might use I'm going to use this one that says, I love you so much. I am tying this as best as I can because this is raw edge. I can't really like, cover this with anything. I could cover it with duct tape, like, but I think it would look bad, especially if you were making this to sell. All right. All right. Can't remember. Yeah, okay. Quarter inch. I've flipped it so I can see the right side. And then we're going to be able to kind of like shimmy through this. So I'm just continuing to pull and open that seam. There we go. All right, then we're going to put right sides together. And so we're going to make it to where there's 1.5 inches above. And so since it's raw edged inside, you just want to make sure it's as clean as possible with your stitching. Clip. And then this is going to be a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this gets kind of finished like a, I want to say French seam, but I think I'm probably wrong. So I won't say anything, but you kind of cover this raw edge when you stitch it down. Honestly, I'm really thrilled with just this. I love it. All right, and then we're going to top stitch the top edge. And again, you can do 2 rows of stitching if you'd like. It's so pretty. I'm really happy I just did the one zipper tab because it would be a lot of excess bulk. All right, I'm just clipping to lay all of that flat. So I think we've almost got, okay, we've got another back slip pocket. Was it supposed to be one or the other and I didn't read it? Probably. So if you didn't want the zipper, yeah, you could just do this. So maybe I didn't need that. Although technically I could just use both, but it might look weird. All right, so we'll go ahead and work on the base then super quick. Because this gets sewn together same as that slip pocket, so we're going to be sewing up just a little bit, not very far. No, sorry. I'm watching Nicole from Sonar's Studio Hang vlog too, laughing. Okay. Okay. We're gonna fold this in half to find the center. And then 2 inches from either side. And we're gonna top stitch. We wanna catch that fold at the top. folding it up, popping it in there. All right. And I think we're gonna top stitch all the way around. This feels so cool. This is the Peltex, yeah, Peltex. I know I totally skipped ahead to the foldable bag base, but still. Okay, put that in there. Oh, you just stitch across the top. Okay. I'm a little tempted to do the whole thing. It's okay, I won't. But I'm tempted. So cool. Okay, we'll get started on finishing it up. I did pull all of my threads, tied them off. I'm gonna put right sides together at the base. I decided to not cut it as one piece, but do two separate. So this is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then we'll lay that flat and top stitch on either side. Okay. So now it's going to be a pretty big section we're working with here. Sometimes I'll let my machine foot hold fabric for me. So we want to put right sides together with our zipper at the top. And it's about an overhang of 2 inches on either side. And I am pulling this slightly. I'm adding just a teeny tiny bit of tension. Okay. I do not have a zipper pull attached yet. And 3/8 inch. We're going to press that down flat and top stitch. I think you could do it twice if you wanted. I don't see that, but you could. And you could also add binding over this technically if you wanted to, like just a little strip. I think it looks fine myself. I'm just pulling on my zipper and pulling on that seam as I go. Okay, make sure there's nothing twisted. We're gonna put right sides together. I'm keeping the edges lined up on the sides. Starting at the center, pressing out, and again, just applying that little bit of tension, not a whole lot. Just to lay that flat, 3/8. And then I believe you can pull it apart. You can also install your snaps if you'd prefer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I mean, we're gonna end up separating it anyway. I'm always so worried I'm never gonna get a zipper on straight, even though I can. Pretty good at it. Still gonna worry. This zipper tape almost doesn't match, but then when it's against that vinyl, you're like, oh, okay, all right. It does kind of match. Keep your table cleared since it's such a large bag. Got that out of the way. I'm just trying to decide. Can't really use a metal. I could just use a woven, and I think that's fine. There's already so much going on. So we'll do that. So we're gonna flip this over. And I'm gonna roll this up like that. All right, this is our slip pocket. And this is the front. It's gonna go 1 inch from the top, centered. And now if you cannot hold this in place, technically you can't really pin it in place either. But what you can do is use masking tape, painter's tape, or washi tape. It's like, what am I trying to say? I don't even know. About 1/8 of an inch. And then she mentions that if you would like to use rivets to help reinforce those top corners, you can. Obviously, you're going to see them from the exterior. And you're going to see that stitching on the exterior. So just keep that in mind. If you want it to look a certain way, be careful. Okay, so on this same side, we're gonna turn the bag over so that our main panel is right side in front of you, and transfer the markings for that flap and your handles. Oh, that's the front. We're talking about the back now. I was like, that doesn't seem like it's gonna work. We're going to the other side on the front. For the back, I'm sorry. We're gonna fold that in half. You get a nice crease. So technically you want to measure from the top of the zipper tape because that's making up for what's lost. And then we're going to measure 3 inches from either side. And then you should not see the outie of your snap when you're placing this down. Okay, and we're going to use some double-sided tape. I'm going to put some inside the opening here to help keep it down. Okay, because if you imagine this is going to get folded over to the other side of your bag. Line that up. All right. Okay. And you're going to make a box stitch to connect that stitching. So I'm just using my silver marking pen. It'll wipe off nicely. We're going to sew that down and we're doing a rectangle. I'm going to start there. Needle right in the hole from where we started. In the illustration in the pattern, you can see that that is the top, the cap of her snap on her flap there. So just try not to get confused. Okay. And then next we're going to line up our straps. These are 7/8 from the top edge and 5.5 in. I think I'm going to work on one at a time. It's just such a heavy strap that I don't see it staying. So 7/8 from the zipper. I know what I said, and I know what I'm doing is the opposite, but it seems to be sticking okay. Famous last words, huh? Okay, 5.5 there. Did I not center right, maybe? I must not have centered this perfectly. But I can kind of fudge that. Put that. Because there should be a little gap between those. And then I'm lining up the start of my handle top stitching with the top stitching of my zipper. So we're gonna do that. And again, the rest of this bag we can kind of roll up. And I'm gonna start right under the culmination of those layers for the rolled handle. Go straight across. Come straight down. Turning carefully. Long tails. Right under the culmination of those layers. All right. All right, so that is the back. And you can add a rivet inside of those straps if you would like. I just love the way it feels. All right. Then we have this last pocket that's going to go on the inside. Centered. And 1 inch. From the top of your bag. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't say including or not including the zipper, so I don't know that it like super matters. Now this one is a little bit bigger and it might be nice to have that washi tape. I feel like I have some. Okay, I'm just using painter's tape. You can also add like a woven label when you're sewing the slip pocket on. Okay. I was trying to decide if I want to do a little back tack at the top, but that's okay. If you are not a fan of it being unlined, technically you could try to make one lined, but the thinner the fabric, the more foldability that it has. Oh, when did we run out? Oh, dang it. That's the back, it's okay. I'm like, I could use hot pink for a minute, but it would be super obvious. Meh, let's do it. It's a travel bag. Oh yeah, that looks good. So there's this great big pocket there and this zipper pocket here, which is so cool. Okay. So we're getting close to the end. We just need to add our other strap. Oh yeah, we have our zipper gloves. Other handle, tape. I don't think I'm gonna need that ruler this time. I'm just measuring 5.5 in And then I'm going to line up my top stitching at that handle with the top stitching of my bag. And then if you can clip your strap in place so it doesn't shift on you. I just looked down and the floor is such a mess. I really don't need to change my bobbin. Like the colors work well enough and we aren't done top stitching anything on the exterior. I'm okay with it. Pulling those threads to the back. If I can find them. All right. Yay! All right. I'm so excited for these. Such a loser. And then you can also zip it all the way and then take the zipper off. I'm gonna do it. So zip it, take your zipper off, and then reattach your zipper so that your zipper is zipped. And so And then everything's kind of together. We're going to put everything together. And then it's a 1/4 inch. And you're starting just below the zipper. I'm adding a woven label. I do plan on adding binding. I think it'll give a more polished look to the bag. I haven't added any of the snap placements yet, and remember, there is a front and a back. Both of those snaps do not go to the same side. Alrighty. 1/4 inch. We're going to go up to the zipper and back stitch. All right, so now is when we can unzip this. Whoop. I don't know if what I did mattered, like putting that on and taking it off. Wow. I have this hot pink I'm gonna use. I think it's super fun. And then just need to I am wondering, yeah, I guess I'll just wrap it around. I'm like, do I do 3/8? Or is this where you would need that like 7/8 binding, maybe? Okay, and then we can decide to lay that to one side. Sew across the bottom, 1/4 inch. And then if you'd want to like fold in those raw edges you could. I think the lighter is plenty. So I'm laying that down, folding the binding over, and powering through that seam. And hoping I'm catching both sides. I did. Great. Man, I'm a flippin' professional. It's so fun. Okay, and then we'll do this side. And this is just starting under the zipper. So I'm getting it started, letting the machine hold it. Did it. And then I would say be consistent with which direction you fold it to, if you can. Put that flat, 1/4 inch. Three-eighths. Okay, I think I get to flip it now. Add a clip on the ends of your zippers if you're worried about it while you're turning the bag. Okay. It's so pretty. Oh. Okay. I think I have to take my zipper pull off. If I can. Yeah, I can. That's my bad. Because you need... You need your zipper to poke out this way. I may have sewn too close. Okay. I think it'll be okay. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm lowering one side to put the other in. Trying to give myself some extra space. Okay, get a different angle on it. There we go. I'm holding it with my thumb, lowering it a little bit to get the other side in, giving myself some extra space. And then once I see they're lined up, that's when I can push down on the pole to make sure they're lined up. Don't zip it off. Almost did. It wouldn't be the end of the world if you zipped it off. It's just like, oy, great. So I'm gonna zip that just to make sure it looks good. Okay, now we can add these tabs. We want to trim down so that it's over by about 1/2 inch. We'll see what that looks like. Because you do want it to overtake the end of the bag by a little bit. If you've made the Brooklyn from Swoon, then you would understand this concept. I cut that even more. Okay. I'm tempted to just glue it. Don't do it, but I want to. Okay. It looks so cute though. All right, I'm clipping my zipper together. If you're wanting to make this pretty quickly, you could just use like 10mm zipper ends, and that would be totally fine. And then zip your zipper all the way just to make sure that it seals properly. Super cute. So you are going to be finishing your stitch on the end. and pivoting over. Long tails. Okay, but here you don't want to, I mean, you do want to unzip. I just worry your teeth could become uneven. Okay, it's okay. All right. It looks like a mess right now, but I think it's gonna get better. So on the front, we're gonna measure down. I think I might just make a stamp for this one. Just in case. So that's where I'm gonna add that one. And then on the back, that's where that one goes on the back. And that is going to be the one that you like fold this to snap it to. Check the underside, make sure you caught all that. All right, so I'm going to punch those holes and insert our female snaps. And for this one, you want to make sure that the cap is inside the bag and you want to see where the snap gets inserted so that you can close your bag and so you can fold it up. Let's do that. I mean, you do that and I'll do that. I'm not going to show you that. Well, maybe I will. Okay. This side has the one pretty far down. So just be careful. And you're only going through the back layer. And she does say in the instructions, if you want to do that first, before putting anything else on, you can. All right. And you could always add a little stabilizer to the backside as well. So I have the cap in my hand, poking that through the hole, holding on to it. You could also potentially add a little bit of glue and fray check. Okay. Clipping that into place. And then I've got it on my press over here. I'm sorry, it's on my other table. Okay. And then this one's easy peasy. It's just right on top. Just make sure it's only one layer that you're poking through. Cap on the back. There you go. Oh, I didn't tie that stuff off. Put the base in. Oh, cool. I don't know why I'm like, wow. I have seen Kristen working on this design for months and months. So I think that's why it's kind of like, cool, it's here. And then this snaps shut. It's not a magnetic snap, so you gotta want it. And the bag looks much better when it's like stuffed to the brim, but I think it looks so cool. I got my little woven label over here. But that is the Champion bag from Land of the Loft. I think this looks so cool. I love that it's like a foldable, reusable tote type thing, but like with so many pockets. Big slip, zipper, and then this really nice slip pocket right there. Well written, and then just the foldable base inside. I'm like, oh, okay, that's so cool. There are instructions inside the pattern on how to fold it. So I'm not going to talk about that. That is to me very proprietary information. So I did it. Oh, hello Evermore. Hello, little kitty baby. It's so fun. I think maybe the Thertex would fold smaller and maybe be a little more lightweight, but I don't think it's bad. And if you have this packed up, you could like use it as a weapon. Like, that's my purse. I don't know you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I can't wait to hear if you bought it and you've made one, or you're going to, or you like it. And I'll see you later. Bye. Phone charger.